Bruins. Off the opening tip, it is UCLA with the basketball here in semifinal number 1 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Ohio State starts out in a man-to-man defense, and boy, it's a pressure cooker when you are talking about how speedy they are in all 5 positions, but can they guard the interior?
Lauren Betts, a willing passer in the post, dumps it off. Ohio State swarming here early and forces a turnover with the 3-second violation.
Well, that's exactly what needed to happen, right? You have to wall up on the inside, forcing a 3-second violation, but most importantly, they caused Lauren Betts to give the ball up, and she was in the painted area, and they're going to have to continue with that kind of defensive pressure.
It's a question that has befuddled every Big Ten team, how to slow down the depth. Here's a mismatch of Jelani Cambridge. She knows she has Lauren Betts on her, and Betts able to knock it away with the block.
Yeah, you got to send a pump fake to 6'7" right there, Lauren Betts. She tried to get a shot off over it, got the shot off, but didn't get it all the way up as Betts got it at the apex.
That's not just any post player you have in front of you, as Vitkins will drop in the mid-range. And a 2-0 lead for the Bruins.
And that's what UCLA wants to do defensively. They want to get some cross matches, and they will switch sometimes 1 to 5, as you just saw in the previous possession. But then maybe take it all the way to her body and then pump fake her and then get into her chest and try to get her in foul trouble.
So mobile at 6'7", 2-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, as the Bruins will force a turnover.
Jelani Cambridge tried her best to exploit the cross match, and Lauren Betts says, no, I'm still right here. And even if you get that shot out of your hands, I have it on mine with the big block.
The shot clock officially reset, and Ohio State bringing their patented 22, that full-court chaotic press. And UCLA calmly gets it over before Charlize Ledger-Walker is fouled on the drive. Corey Close, the Coach of the Year in the Big Ten. Last year was the National Coach of the Year. She's gone 4-0 in the Big Ten tournament. They are the reigning Big Ten tournament champions.
And after Iowa won 3 straight prior to that. Last season, the first season in the Big Ten for UCLA, and went to their very first NCAA Final Four after going to an AIAW one back in the 70s.
Kevin McGuff, 18-10 in the Big Ten tournament. They're trying to get back to the title game for the first time since 2023, when they were defeated by Iowa, part of that Hawkeye three-peat. And the Hawkeyes will play later today and won 4 of the last 6. Deep post up here for Lauren Betts. Again, passes it off. Gabriela Jaquez is no good. Loose ball comes away to Ava Watson.
Yeah, both teams want to push tempo, and that is predicated upon the defense and also the rebounding.
All up for grabs on the floor. 6'7", Lauren Betts comes up with it, up to Jaquez, and she lays it in for 2.
Steal and score. Live ball turnovers. Both teams trying to force that as well. But Ohio State, they've got to get some things going here in the quarter court. Pretty much outsized 4 of the 5 positions on the court.
Snaking on the baseline, Kennedy Cambridge. She's no good. Offensive rebound and putback also off the mark. And again, UCLA with numbers, a 3-on-1. It'll be Kiki Rice on the finishing end.
Transition game on 1,000 right now for the Bruins. And Jelani Cambridge is trying to put pressure on the rim and the defensive transition for UCLA. But it's the quarter court. You see what Ohio State is trying to iron out here schematically. Trying to get some clean looks, and they have not had that.
9 seconds to shoot here for Lemula. 6'6" for the Buckeyes. High arcing shot, no good for Jelani Cambridge.
Well, she learned her lesson trying to shoot it over Lauren Betts, and although she didn't block that one, she most certainly changed the trajectory of that. And she tried to get the moon ball up and over those long arms.
Already a much better start for the Bruins, although that's a travel on Lauren Betts. Already 6 points. They had 6 in the entire first quarter yesterday in the quarters.
Boots on the ground. This one's Betts on the ground, trying to snatch that 50-50 opportunity and then push ahead passes. That is what UCLA does best. Jaquez, the recipient of that dime, and then Kiki Rice getting spicy with it in transition for UCLA.
Ohio State is 0 for 4 to start this game. They've been blocked. They've had a couple turnovers as well, trying to find some kind of coherence offensively. And a whistle will go on the Bruins there. That's going to go on Rice, her first. The Bruins team that leads the Big Ten in defensive rating. Only 3 times have teams even surpassed 70 points against them. So no surprise to see them stifling to begin.
Yeah, I mean, just look at how long they are in the perimeter, right? It doesn't matter if you create switches, you're still going to have a big guard to contend with on the switches. Or 6'7" Lauren Betts.
Wanting that one back, a quick look inside. There's Kiki Rice off balance. She is having a career year in terms of her production and efficiency.
Yeah, how about that? That mid-range was tough.
Chance Gray answers with a triple, and Ohio State 4 minutes in on the board and down by 5.
Well, now they can apply some pressure when they make shots. It's just easier for them to do so. But
Rice barreling her way to the rim, a tough take. She is hard to stop.
And she had her eyes closed and was facing the sideline when she shot that. I mean, what an acrobatic finish there by Kiki Rice.
Already 3 of 3, 6 points, a couple rebounds for Kiki Rice.
Yeah, DMV's own Kiki Rice. Sidwell Friends High School won a title there. Oh. Yeah,
that is going to be a travel.
I didn't hear the whistle at
Cambridge.
I was like, that's something. But wow, what a sequence of events. Look at UCLA, Kiki Rice putting it on the deck, getting to that midi, 10 toes down, 2 points in with the snuggle of a bucket. And then the spray out, extra pass to the corner, Chance Gray, I like those chances for 3. And then Kiki Rice, acrobatic with it, somehow, some way, smooches that off the window. And she said, and 1, because she was in a little bit of traffic with Ohio State's defense to no avail.
Ledger Walker penetrates, short corner shot there for Sienna Betts, and Coach McGuff is going to call a timeout. A very good start for the Bruins, leading 12-3. They scored just 6 points the entire first quarter yesterday, firing on all cylinders here in the semis. 5 points per game. That's even more than last year. It was 19 points per game when they made a run to the Final Four. It's been absolute dominance en route to this 29-1 season. And by the way, a win today was a new program record for consecutive wins at 24.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Dancing Bruins, Kiki Rice was asked on the desk yesterday with Mike and the crew. Said, hey, should have gone out there to do it too. And she said, no, I'm gonna leave that to the 3 best dancers on the team. But that's the love and the recognition of roles that they have carried over to X's and O's schematically on the basketball court as well.
And a big shout out to Charlize Ledger Walker. She also started a TikTok series where she was showing Gianna Neepkins how to build some rhythm herself and get more comfortable dancing. So it's a big theme of this team, the togetherness.
Yeah, teamwork on and off the court. You love it.
Jump ball is going to keep it right here as we check in with Elise Woodward on Ohio State.
Yeah, Kevin McGuff in that timeout, wanting to get his press to affect UCLA more, get the ball out of the middle, make them uncomfortable. And then on offense, he said, we have got to reverse the ball. We need to make that size move. And he's like, cut harder, move the basketball quicker if we're going to have a chance to score.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the vision gets taken away because of the size of UCLA on the perimeter and on the inside as well. So even if you get it inside, I mean, you can't really get it back out because the vision is taken away.
Ava Watson, no good for 3, but a good look. Tracked down by Hawkes, but she's in a tough spot. There to bail her out. Sienna Betts and UCLA back on the attack.
Really good job to secure the possession for UCLA. They were hemmed up in that corner.
They're never fazed by anything now, because Ohio State is a team that speeds teams up, makes them feel nervous, but here they do force the turnover.
Bodies on the ground on the other side. Hustle plays. We knew this was going to be a physical game. I mean, we're in the Final Four for Big Ten competition.
Lonnie Cambridge gets the step, kicks it out, the extra pass. Watson wide open. And off target that time.
Well, she was making those shots last night, and that was surprising to see her miss that way. 1 for 8 now from the floor for Ohio State.
And Watson this season a 35% shooter. Here's Neepkins again, the mid-range, beautiful touch in the paint.
Nice and soft touch right there in the middle of the lane. But that's when you have to direct players to the corner. Right? That's exactly where they want to go. They want to get a piece of the paint, whether they're scoring it or spraying it out.
Kylie Neepkins will drain it from distance. UCLA giving up that three, and Ohio State needed it.
It's with that heavily taped right shoulder. Still got that shot to go. She's in and out of the lineup this season because of the injury, but look at Neepkins making a nice read off that screen by Sienna Betts. Cleared the runway for her to get a piece of the paint right on that B1G logo to pull up pocket hold it.
Big support here for UCLA, their second season here in Indianapolis for the Big Ten tournament champions. Last year looking to keep this win streak alive. Win today would get them back in the championship game as Cambridge tries to throw it into Lamula, and Jelani Cambridge 0 for 2. That's her second turnover as well.
Well, guess what? I think because that first shot got blocked, she's got to go ahead and shoot. Those last two possessions where I thought she got in the painted area in scoring range for her and scoring opportunities, she decided to pass it, and they were turnovers. She has to stay aggressive with putting shots up.
She led the Big Ten in Big Ten play at 26 points per contest. She is lights out, inside and out.
She can't defer.
Neepkins, the step back. She can certainly drill that. Does it that time. And Tiana Todd barrels up the floor. Can't get the finish, but she is fouled. Trying to bring a spark to this team.
Somebody's got to do it. At this point, you got to take chances, right? You got to get downhill and put pressure on the rim with some force. And right here, try to get into the body. And maybe, that's where the foul came with the body, because up top it looked clean.
First foul on Lauren Betts on that last play. 2 free throws here for Todd, averaging 4 points per game for the Buckeyes. Big Ten Network's live coverage of the 2026 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament from Chicago begins on Wednesday. So just more days. You gotta wait till there's more postseason basketball on your screen of your favorite Big Ten teams. You cannot wait to see that competition go down.
Yeah, the best time of the year. That's what I said the other day. Everyone loves the holidays, which are nice. But this is my favorite time of the year, I'm telling you. I mean, you just never know. The unpredictability of March. So much fun to observe.
Neepkins, look at that hesitation move, but she can't convert. Just that head nod fake, igniting Ohio State. They love to move quick.
A good job right here defensively by UCLA to recover and get back and protect the painted area.
Watson, extra pass. Todd from distance. No good, and the rebound ripped down by Rice.
Proper opportunities. Passes on that play were proper in terms of the spacing that UCLA was giving up. Got to make the extra one. But you also have to knock down shots.
That's one-on-one against Lamula. Top 2 shot blockers in the Big Ten. She leaves it short. Here's Gray now accelerating. The step through a little awkward against Neepkins. And Neepkins was fouled battling. Coach Corey Close wanted to see a better start by her team. They're bringing it right now with the effort.
Yeah, it was interesting to listen to Corey Close in her post-game press conference. Well, not the press conference, actually in the locker room before the press conference. She said, listen, we cannot have slow starts like that. I know the time change is one factor possibly, and the other team had a game under their belt, already had some traction here in Indy, but there are no excuses. Sometimes when you win, you can still be kind of disappointed in not following the philosophy of the team and what they've done well all season. So, you get the win, but sometimes it can be fool's gold because you didn't play up to your capabilities.
She says it has to be thrive in advance, not survive in advance. We have to play our best basketball, be who we are. And there's going to be a 3-second violation, a turnover on the Bruins leading by 7.
Yeah, I remember when I was coach, you got to wake up. Look at him. She's talking to him, say, what are we doing? We wake up. That was from yesterday's game, and yeah, they're from the West Coast. The time is a little bit different. They had an early game and all that, but hey, no excuses at this juncture of the season. Been there, done that. You know what it takes, and I love that Corey Close held him accountable.
A demolishing block by Lauren Betts.
How about that? Lauren Betts, she is a force to be reckoned with, and right there just sends that out to the cameraman on the baseline. All ball by Betts.
He's already got 2. Here is Gray with the quick release. That touched nothing on its way down. And Ohio State down by 11, now within 4.
They're going to need some more offensive opportunities like that from range, because the interior, as you saw in the previous possession, is going to be hard to come by with Betts in there.
Ledger Walker can't answer, and Ohio State potentially bring it within 1 here in the final 30 seconds of the first quarter. A very cold start, a hesitant start by Ohio State, but building some momentum here on the offensive end.
Really good defense, gap, discipline here by UCLA.
Warren Betts switched on the perimeter. Ledger Walker jumps on the loose ball, tries to get it free. It comes away to Watson with 10 seconds left. Gray sets up a 3. Betts tracks it down, and now 4 seconds left. Kiki Rice, you want it in her hands. The speedster will set, and no good that time. A 4-point difference after the first quarter, 14.
Right here. Well, shot's gonna go. That was funny. She kicked her foot out, and it was very animated. But yeah, coaches can get physical as well over there on the sideline.
The foot comes out when you're trying to change the trajectory of that shot happening right in front of you. It works sometimes, I think.
So funny.
Angela Dugalich into the game. Big Ten 6th player of the year is Lemila with a punishing swat herself.
Lemila, the full denial right here in the paint, gives her baseline because she knows she's going to meet her on the other side and close the door and beat that out.
How fun we get to see the 2 top shot blockers in the Big Ten in Betts and Lemila. 5 seconds to shoot for Betts. She's been shooting more mid-range this year. She's got it.
It's like, listen, I'm by myself over here. I have Watson in front of me at 5'7", giving up a whole foot.
Check in with Elise Woodward, listening in to that last Bruins huddle.
Yeah, Corey Close reminding her team, look, we need to move the basketball. Everything we're doing right now is off the bounce. And so go inside out, catch the ball to shoot it, and instead of trying to create something off the dribble.
First 3 there for Jelani Cambridge off target. Thank you, Elise. And UCLA surrendered a 7-0 run to the Buckeyes to end that first quarter.
Right. And that's without Jelani Cambridge marking a point yet.
Dugalich, just that easy. When you're throwing 6'7" to 6'4", that is so hard to contain.
No, absolutely. Back in the day, you know, that high-low look or, you know, just connection with the post players was great because you knew exactly where to put the basketball.
Lemila hasn't been looking to score against Betts from the high post.
UCLA switching 1 to 5 is very intriguing to me.
Kennedy Cambridge drops it off to Lemila, and she converts.
Good job right there by Lemila to relocate right in front of the rim. It's a tough place to guard.
Again, breaking through this press. Ohio State not making a lot of shots, have not been able to institute it, but they get a trap here in the half court. And Coach Corey Close is going to call a timeout, knowing the ferocity of the press that Ohio State is known for.
Yeah, once they get you to that sideline, that's lights out, okay? Ohio State playing with some force on the defensive end. Yeah, you can dribble the ball, that's great for us, and now we can direct you into chaos. So the only ones that haven't been blocked here in Indy. Look at this big block right here, Lauren Betts. That was the first shot by Jelani Cambridge. And then Lemila getting into the action there, sending that one to the stands. It's just really great to see. I mean, I used to love to block a shot. Average 6 blocks in high school and college, not so much though.
Beautiful footwork there by Angela Dugalich.
But it does a lot to change shots for the opponents, and I think Jelani Cambridge has had to change her game a little bit.
But this time she takes it right to Lauren Betts, getting that first step.
Had to. Lauren Betts blocked her first shot, and then she didn't take the next couple of opportunities and then changed the shot that she did take. So Lauren Betts getting into the head of Jelani Cambridge early on, forcing an 0 for 4 from the floor start for her, and another block.
That time it's Dugalich showing off her prowess inside. Jelani Cambridge tries to get it free. We're starting to see the Jelani Cambridge we are familiar with come to life.
Yeah, she's been unlocked, and right here, rip and go before Lauren Betts can get established, and then got it right out of her hands before Lauren Betts could stick it to the window with another block. Yeah, and that's the best way to attack size, right? Don't stand there and catch it and then try to go. Now they have leverage against you. So before Betts could even get leverage, she was gone and attacked that top leg.
Jelani had been 0 for 4 before that. UCLA back on the offensive end. Betts will give it up and directing traffic herself. Now Rice is going to recalibrate. 5 seconds on the clock here for Kiki Rice. Pick and pop, Dugalich off target.
And that was the proper read, because the Cambridge sisters had a miscue, a miscommunication right there on the coverage of that pick and pop action by UCLA. Nobody was there to get a hand up.
Lemula and Betts, number 1 and 2 in the Big Ten in blocks, using their size and their IQ to help their teams defensively.
Yeah, I fouled out of like 6 or 7 games in college because I tried to block everything like I was in high school. It wasn't the same deal.
Betts taking it away for the Bruins. It's not just blocks, she can just bat it right into the air at any time.
That looks like a volleyball swat.
And another mid-range drops in for Lauren Betts. That's been part of her blossoming this year, is bringing it outside the paint.
Right, and maybe in the scout, it's like, you know, play inside the paint. You know, toes to the nail to defender, but you gotta maybe get a step outside, a skosh further out.
Extra pass outside. Kennedy Cambridge, no good that time. The weak side rebound to Rice. Eyes scanning the floor against the Buckeyes. Jaquez takes off the floater. Doesn't fall through, and Lemula able to hold off Lauren Betts for that rebound. Accelerating Kennedy Cambridge. Here's Watson along the baseline. And UCLA turning this into a track meet, getting a couple stops and pushing it up the floor. Meekins, all kinds of time. She's got it. Coach McGuff calls a timeout when one of the best three-point shooters in the country has all kind of space. 45% this season for Meek.
Off of Lauren Betts. Corey Close earlier this season, when I had one of their games, she said, you know, last year, our first and last touches were going to Lauren Betts on the interior. And this year, just kind of let it come organically. Yes, obviously we know who we have in Lauren Betts, but it doesn't have to start and end there. We want to play organically and let everybody shine in terms of the beauty of their skill set.
Chance Gray, no good for 3. Offensive rebound. Cambridge thought about it. Instead, she's going to reset. Again, as Betts switched on her, we've seen this a lot.
Yeah,
she's going to kick it out again.
Smart. I like it. I mean, Lauren Betts is nimble-footed. She can get there and guard.
Gabriela Jaquez. Oh, rather, they're going to take that away. UCLA, Lena Bilic, new into the game.
Look at Kennedy Cambridge. Yesterday had 6 of Ohio State's 12 steals. She's all over Kiki Rice right there.
Deep post up here for Jaquez. Takes the contact from Kennedy Cambridge. That's exactly what they wanted.
Absolutely. Jaquez working down low, getting her seal. And now at that point, Kennedy Cambridge has to stay disciplined and just wall up, turn around, and box out. Right? She already has you on her back. And if you didn't release and try to get to the ball line for a deflection, and you have to decide that with some immediacy, if you don't, you just have to wall up and give that position up to Jaquez.
As a second foul on Kennedy Cambridge, you saw the numbers there for Jaquez, just like Charlize Ledger-Walker, just like Kiki Rice, having career years for this group that has stuck together for multiple years. Gone through the process with the coaching here under Corey Close, and it is paying off for this group that will win after program record for consecutive wins at 24.
Ledger-Walker has done a tremendous job of taking the point guard responsibilities into her hands and out of Kiki Rice's hands. And Kiki can be an initiator and a facilitator. She had 6 assists yesterday, so she's no stranger to that. But it takes pressure off of Kiki Rice to be a facilitator and a scorer all the time. And with Ledger-Walker out there to set the table and organize in the quarter court, that has unlocked Kiki Rice in a different way this season.
Ledger-Walker scoring not the same as what we expected from her at Washington State, but she said, look who I'm surrounded by. Why would I not want to set up my teammates with the riches that surround me?
Absolutely. Looking to the right and the left, she's like, I'm diming these off. I'm going to have assist numbers through the roof. as she has.
5 seconds to shoot here for the Buckeyes, and taken away by the Bruins along the baseline. Jelani Cambridge tries to get it back, but Ohio State has turned it over 8 times compared to just 5 field goals.
Well, they didn't match angles on that one. Chance Gray had to get that to the wing and then get it in. Wing and in. Can't be from the top if you're not seeing the numbers of your teammate down the side.
Ledger Walker with the pump fade, just taking control in the paint.
Yeah, you just have to freeze the defense, show them the basketball, and then take it up. Ledger Walker with a nice deuce in the paint.
Jelani Cambridge slicing her way, can't convert. Offensive rebound, Lemila didn't have the angle. And again, UCLA controls the glass, plus 15 rebound margin this season.
Yeah, 12-4 advantage in paint points for UCLA, and it's not just back to the basket post moves. I mean, Lauren Betts has hit 2 face-up shots. It's been the guards.
Kiki Rice, the mid-range working for the UCLA Bruins, shooting over 55%.
Kiki Rice clapping her hands down here on defense, feeling good about where the Bruins are right now.
10-0 run for UCLA, kicks along the baseline and snatched out of the air by Rice.
Rice has a tennis background. Her impeccable footwork is on display.
Jelani Cambridge came out of nowhere to take that away, leading the fast break. And an easy lay-in for Chance Gray. That is how Ohio State scores.
Yeah, the steal and score ability is palpable, and especially with Jelani Cambridge just coming blindsidedly down inside. As soon as that ball hit the deck, she had her hands on it and going the other way with it. Thievery was swift.
Sienna Betts carrying it down the floor. Billich for 3 is off target.
Ledger Walker for UCLA. This is what she can do, right? Get down inside of you. Had Jelani Cambridge.
2023, what a great photo, just laying amongst the confetti raining down.
Oh, yeah.
Trophy at her side.
Yeah, I love a good confetti angel. Not a snow angel, but a confetti angel. That's what she was doing. It's cute.
Let's bring in Elise.
Well, guys, that run through the Pac-12 tournament championship for Charlize Ledger Walker at Washington State, that was the first Washington State title in the history, not just of the women's basketball program, but for any women's program, period. They'd only been to the NCAA tournament 1 time in their history. Charlize took them 3 years in a row. She is a winner.
Yeah, that's what you want in your leaders.
Approaching 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Trying to ignite Jelani Cambridge, looking for the assist here. Gray drops it in from distance.
What a fantastic read right there. Smart spray out opportunity by Cambridge to get that where it needed to go for a triple.
Neepkins looking for another, too strong. Dugalich doesn't even come down with it, and she gets fouls.
Take a look at this one right here. Getting it to Jelani Cambridge. She attacks the elbow and sprays it out. Cash from range. Chance Gray gets that one to go. Ohio State 0 for 4 before that from 3 this quarter.
Dugalich shooting here for the Bruins. Coming off the bench this season, the Big Ten 6th Player of the Year. She met with Corey Close beginning of this season, said, I will come off the bench. I'm going to do what it takes, but I want to be trusted when it matters late. And she certainly has that trust with Close and the rest of her teammates.
Well, she's an energy giver, and that's what you want from your players, whether they're starters or coming off the bench. But you do want that punch off the bench that's going to elevate the energy and the focus on the court. And see, there you go.
Turnover by the Buckeyes. The spin by Rice. Walled up inside by the Buckeyes, but with 1:28 on the clock, stay right here.
See Kiki Rice trying to get downstairs with it, the in and out dribble with the left, coming back to the other side. Just not enough, and she thought maybe she...
The call on the floor is a white ball. The out of bounds is being appealed by Ohio State.
So Ohio State using this appeal. If it is unsuccessful, that means the Buckeyes would be losing a timeout.
Let's take a look. Here's Kiki Rice. It did hit the arm of Cambridge right there, but the last to touch it looks like it was off of Rice and off of her right pinky. So I think Ohio State may win that. Yeah. Jelani didn't touch it. Doesn't look like anyone gets a touch of that, except Rice. It looks like it's off of Rice. I think they may win it, Sloan.
It's originally called UCLA basketball.
Another look at it. Yeah, that last touch. Oh, see? Wait, there's a hand in there, but no, the last touch is off Kiki, I believe.
Still taking a look here for any disputable evidence.
You see Martin right there, and that's Martin's hand that's on the inside of Kiki's, and that pinky of Martin, maybe that's what they're looking at the last second. That's tough.
After review, the call on the floor stands. The ball goes off of Ohio State number 8. Ohio State will lose a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, it was off the pinky of Martin. Ever so slightly, though.
Well, coming up later today, a semifinal number 2 between number 2 Iowa, number 3 Michigan. And you know the Wolverines have a lot to play for, a rematch against the Hawkeyes, who they lost to just about 10 days ago at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Plus, the Wolverines trying to advance to their first Big Ten tournament championship game for the first time in program history.
Right, and that game that they played at Iowa was Senior Day. So there was a lot of emotion. We had a chance to speak with Jen Jensen about that this morning at the shoot-around, and she was saying, yeah, it was a lot of emotion, but we've been playing with a lot of force. They're looking forward to the rematch as well.
Ohio State with the basketball, led by Chance Gray's 11 points. The next highest score is 3. Lemila misfires. Kitts does get it to go on the offensive putback.
And that's exactly how you attack the cross match. If UCLA is going to be switching 1 to 5, then get it to the big small advantage for your team, right? Instead of for UCLA. So they fed the cross match of the cross match, if you will, and got it down into the paint for a bucket.
Don't worry, I was following that.
Okay, as you know.
Neepkins fouled along the baseline with 31.7 seconds here in quarter number 2.
Get a little coachy over here, make sure. I don't have my whiteboard for the people at home.
I was doing my own.
Write it down, you had it over here, okay?
Rice will bring it in. Neepkins thought about that 3. Instead, sheds her defender and tipped out by Betts. Heads up play. About a 4-second different shot in game clock to close out this first half. Ohio State has been able to stay within arm's reach despite shooting 28% compared to UCLA's 47%.
Zone here to close the half.
3 seconds long. 3 for Neepkins is too strong. Betts can't put it back. And 8/10 on the clock.
One thing you can't do, if you're going to show some zone, you cannot overhelp and hug the lane line.
That is the end. That is the end of the first half. 32-21 is the lead for number 1 UCLA. But coming up on the halftime show presented.
Length is obviously bothering us around the basket, but we got to get some stops, get in transition, get something easy right now.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck.
To 21 points. The last time they scored that few was against that UCLA team last year in the Big Ten tournament. They will begin the third quarter with an easy look inside.
Yeah, that's a way to get Jelani Cambridge unlocked, right? There was no switch. They kept her on the single side offensively, and she took a back cut and got an easy bucket at the rim.
And when they score, they can put in the press of Ohio State. UCLA just getting it over. Lauren Betts, a tough take, muscling it up and in for the Bruins.
And Lauren Betts just said, excuse me, I'm going right here. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Betts in this game, 6 points, 3 of 5 shooting as Ohio State trying to find its moxie on offense. That will also work. Back-to-back scores for Ohio State. Numbers here for the Bruins. The trailer Rice streaking through. She can't convert into the hands of Hawk as she also misses. it's going back the other way.
Let's take a look at that last play by Ohio State. Here's Jelani Cambridge. She's going to come up here and sell this back cut, but it's because Lauren Betts has to guard Limula up here, so now Lauren Betts is taken away from the rim, so she's free and easy on the single side. Look, bait her and send her back door. Beautifully executed offense by the Buckeyes on that one.
This Ohio State really did need that halftime reset to try and regroup, but after back-to-back buckets, they will turn it over on this next possession.
Yeah, because that was a smart adjustment by Ohio State offensively, right? Every pick and roll situation, they were able to switch it with Betts. Now let's not set screens for Jelani. Let's just have her guarded individually with her primary defender and have her utilize her speed on back cuts. I'm excited about how that's going to continue to unfold.
See the chess match between these two coaches as Dugalich, another brilliant post move, so smooth, but Cambridge turns on the Jets all the way to the baseline and powers it up and in, going coast to coast.
There she is. Jelani Cambridge going to work now. You know, a couple times you said in that first half that she passed up opportunities to just go ahead and score. And now she's just saying, you know what, forget it, I'm going. Full turbo mode to the basket and finishing right there at the cup.
Cambridge had 2 points in the first half, 4 already here, 1 of 6 shooting in the first 20 minutes. They want to unlock her. Betts, long range too. She's been knocking those down all season and today.
They have to make an adjustment to that drop coverage on Lauren Betts right there, outside the nail extended. She's knocked in 3 from the mid-range so far, 1 at the pinch post and 2 up top like that.
Maybe you could have done that in years past. Not this year's Lauren Betts.
Got to guard her straight up.
Foul.
And this is when Jelani Cambridge is at her best, when she has her ice skates on and running up the backs of opponents defensively, and then got a crevice of light on the baseline and smooch that one home in transition. And that's exactly the pace of play Ohio State wants.
Second in the Big Ten in fast break points per game. She's one of the top guards in scoring in the paint as well. 26 points per game against Big Ten competition, led every single player in the conference. And here Champs Gray, 3 free throws for Ohio State.
And that's why Jelani Cambridge has to stay aggressive, right? She has to bring that. That's what the team needs from her. And I know it's a little bit disrupted by how UCLA is guarding her, but I love how they've been able to figure out a way to get her activated on the offensive end and have her stay aggressive, like in the open floor, take it all the way to the rim. I'm sure Kevin McGuff said, hey, no passes for you. If you have it, you have the speed, get downhill and finish.
Gray, meanwhile, has nearly half of her team's points, 14 of their 30 after those free throws.
Zone here.
Meekins lining up at 3. The rebound snatched away by Dugalich. Another opportunity here for the Bruins.
Trying to clog that painted area up. Both teams scoring well in there, 16-14 in favor of UCLA.
Hawkins, beautiful floater. We've seen incredible touch by UCLA, shooting over 45%.
Good job right there by Ledger Walker to gap that and not give up the baseline to Jelani Cambridge, who was looking to attack yet again inside.
Lamila looking back door, loses it. Dugalich comes up with it. Leading the fast break. Betts, she can shoot it from the mid-range, but only 0 for 2 from her career from 3, so she passes it up. Deep post up. Miss inside.
She's not going to miss many of those, I tell you that right now.
Ohio State takes it right back, down by 10. Jelani Cambridge, a burst through the lane, but UCLA will come up with the turnover.
That's when she's got to shoot that one, I think. It's tight quarters, you're not expecting it. Cherry pick.
Watson takes it right back, and right there is Jelani Cambridge for an easy layup.
Yeah, she was just getting up off the floor after falling down, trying to make that shot down inside. Lucky for her, 4 players on defense were able to come up with the basketball and send it to her for an easy one.
That time the ball bounced their way for Ohio State. They're within 8.
The easiest bucket she'll get all day.
Meekins gets it inside to Dugalich. 5 to shoot. She tries to muscle her way in the interior. Michigan Wolverines for a spot in the Big Ten title game coming up after this.
How about Hannah Stokey playing yesterday after injuring her elbow and questionable and came out and It's great.
Neatkins with the step back gets it to go.
Oh. Oh, wow.
UCLA is going to pick up the basketball. Their 8th steal. Hawkes in the paint will misfire. And the Buckeyes back with it.
Neatkins just grabbed the basketball out of the hands of Jelani Cambridge. Wow.
Chance Gray gets the finger roll. She's got 16 of her team's 34 points.
I love the chances of that, boy. Chance of rain outside. But Chance Gray inside. She has been phenomenal.
Lauren Betts, too strong, right underneath the rim.
Limula, like she's having some kind of an issue with her left hand. Calling for a sub. I don't know what happened there.
And she was looking at it coming down the floor past the midway point here of the 3rd quarter. And almost turns it over.
Yeah. Oh, that's a rough screen.
Lauren Betts denies that pick and roll with her arm span. Going around to the paint, Kennedy Cambridge.
Yeah, good job there by Kennedy Cambridge. The second line of defense is right there. She took an extra dribble to free herself.
Cambridge had been 0 for 4 before that bucket. Here is Neatkins, a triple on the way. Skying for it is Kennedy Cambridge.
Corey Close wanted to travel.
Numbers for the Buckeyes, a block by Ledger Walker, but a whistle instead. 45-36, the Bruins on top.
Well, staunch and stout defense. Look at this, Neatkins getting her hands on it before falling to her knees. And then they were able to push tempo. But look at Chance Gray with the little scoop, little YMCA smooch off the window. But Lauren Betts, hey, you guys, man, she's just too much in front of the rim. I know as a post player, or a player that plays on the interior, like you have that hand, you know, that's always kind of touchy right there as you're trying to establish position. That's a tough one to recover from.
After the free throws. Full court press here as we visit Elise.
Yeah, guys, the trainer for Ohio State, Connie Barker, was actually putting blood stopper on the fingernail. I think that ball might have tipped that fingernail, and it caused it to bleed, which is very painful when your fingernail starts ripping away from the bed. And in that timeout, Kevin McGuff saying, I loved the 5 minutes. That is the pressure that we need. We have shortened this into a 15-minute game. It's go time. Pressure, pressure, pressure is what he told his team. And those timeouts are valuable. He only has 1 timeout left for the entire game because they had to burn 3 in the first half.
Oh boy, hey, at least you can tell that you have sons. When you said the fingernail coming out of the nail bed. God. I hope she's okay though, and you know, that is, I mean, when you do have damage to your fingernail, gosh, I think that's even worse than having a jammed thumb. Especially when you're trying to like wash your hair and stuff like that. It's not great.
She's got 4 double-doubles in her last 6 games, and against UCLA earlier this season, 13.7 rebounds, 4 blocks. She said at the time, having a game like this against this opponent really boosts my confidence. She is so important in the middle for this Buckeye team.
Well, they are trying to clog every single gap that Jelani Cambridge is trying to attack. See if they do the same for Kennedy.
Taken by the Bruins.
They're just showing a second body to Jelani Cambridge, too.
Gabriela Hawkes for 3. She's got it.
That's what they need from her, continuing to stretch the floor. Last 2 games, at least to halftime, they had only combined to make 2 triples out of 17 tries in 2 games. So good to see Hawkes to get one to go.
Despite being the best 3-point shooting team in the Big Ten through this entire season.
No, Struggle Bus yesterday only made 1 triple in the game.
Cambridge, 4 seconds left, tries to get the defenders in the air, leaves it for Kitts along the baseline, and Ohio State has cooled down. Now a 12-point lead for the Bruins. And Rice is going to slow things down.
Smart decision here by Kiki Rice, and this is why her having the ability to be the backup point guard when Ledger Walker is out. She understands the assignment of being a playmaker, relocating here and possibly being a scorer on the strong side.
Dugalich, strong move in the paint off target. It's going to be Buckeye basketball.
On the previous possession for the Bruins, extra pass by Neepkins. Nice feet right there, set and ready to lift it. Rise and fire from the corner pocket for Hawkins. Nicely executed offense by UCLA.
Having the best shooting season of her career, 41% from distance. Her first 3 years, 31%. Cambridge trying to get things going for this Ohio State team. Lemila nearly loses it. That time she does.
Chance Gray trying to get that slip. Oh, Jelani Cambridge, I tell you what, she is as quick as a cat with her reflexes and nearly got a steal. And Watson up here doing her best to emulate that type of energy on the defensive end from Cambridge.
So much quickness, so much activity by these undersized Ohio State guards. Now 5 to shoot for Rice, working around that bet screen. She'll pull up free throw line, jumper doesn't go.
Very well defended there by Jelani Cambridge, and then Kiki Rice fouled her.
Coming up in our next semifinal, the Michigan Wolverines watching. We move on. We're gonna face one of these teams, getting a little view here before they take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. A rematch of the game just about 10 days ago at Carver Hawkeye Arena. They are ready to go to get that second chance at the Hawkeyes after they set season lows in scoring and field goal percentage in Iowa City.
What a bag full of sensational sophomores Kim Barnes-Arico is afforded to coach. I mean, such an exciting future, but the time is now for that young squad who has really put a hurting on a lot of teams throughout the conference and the country.
5 seconds to shoot now for Ohio State. Kennedy Cambridge is gonna loft a 3. Flying in for the rebound is Kitts, and she's fouled.
Kitts flying through with the greatest of ease there with 2 high hands on the glass, and that's what we said would be a key component to success in this game. Contact there. Clearly a foul on the airborne shooter. But wow, the effort that Kitts put forth on the rebounding. 5 so far for her here this afternoon. That needs to continue for Ohio State to continue to chip away.
Kitts, the sister of Chloe Kitts of the South Carolina Gamecocks. Strong season, her first year in Columbus, but since she injured her shoulder January 19th, has still been trying to find her footing again. It's a big career ahead of her in this uniform.
Yeah, I remember Kevin McGuff saying there's no minutes restriction, but we're going to go with how she goes. If she needs to come out, we'll give her some rest.
Stripped by Kennedy Cambridge, encroaching on 200 career steals. Looking down low into Kitts, looking to be a difference maker. They keep it alive, but it will go to UCLA.
Kennedy Cambridge, one of the best in the business in terms of being a disruptive defender. Look at her, you don't even see her coming, and she just gets that basketball and snatches it right away from Rice. Look at Betts in a track race to get back and protect the rim. It's the first 3 steps in transition that usually gets you where you need to go, but Lauren Betts running like the wind on that one. Trying to disallow anything easy on the other end by the Buckeyes.
Kiki Rice, a rampage to the rim for the Bruins.
Oh, it's a 1-2 step right there to finish. Kiki Rice serpentining her way inside nicely.
2 seconds left here for Ohio State. They won't get a shot off in time, and UCLA heads to the 4th quarter leading by 12, 52-40.
Couldn't imagine. I mean, I'm sure that is very special, and not only for the 2 sisters, but for the family as well. That's what it's all about. I love it.
Start of the 4th quarter here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. 52-40 is UCLA's lead. The winner moving on to the Big Ten championship game tomorrow, meeting the winner between Iowa and Michigan.
Yeah, some zone there again by Ohio State. You saw UCLA not getting the ball reversed to the second side. They got to move it.
Quick pass outside, and it leads to a 3. Ava Watson.
The more quickly Ohio State gets into their secondary offense, the better, right? If they don't get a free and easy bucket right at the rim in transition, at least a 1 pass and pop. They got to play quicker to manufacture more possessions against this UCLA team that possesses so much size across the board.
Cambridge trying to make herself bigger against Dugalich on the perimeter, but Neepkins wide open, and she cans it again.
Kevin McGuff just waved his hand because right there, Kennedy Cambridge helped too far to the lane line, and now you have this long run closeout, and you can't even get there to contest Neepkins, who doesn't need but a blink of time to get her shot off.
She's got 3 of their 4 from deep here today, 45% this season. She collapses on that loose ball, comes away to Lamila. She can't lay it in, but Kennedy Cambridge does.
What grit and hustle right there by Kennedy Cambridge, digging that one out of the mud, not once but twice, diving it off from her knees, and then coming up with the offensive rebound afterwards. That's what it's going to take to beat a team like UCLA. Extra effort.
Neepkins has a clear lane, drops it off to Lauren Betts for 2.
Got to help the helper, and if you're helping as that next player on the weak side, you got to take away that pass. At least get a deflection. You're not going to be able to wall up Lauren Betts at 6'7". You got to disallow a touch there and rotate on a string.
Elise was listening in to that last Bruins huddle.
Close, gives this veteran team a lot of time to talk amongst themselves and to work out problems. And she came back to the huddle and said, protect the ball. You guys, you've done a great job. This next 10 minutes going to be crucial as Ohio State will turn up that pressure. They have done a great job. Just 8 turnovers by UCLA here, and there's 8 minutes to go. This Ohio State team forces 22, so they keep protecting the ball. They feel good in the 4th.
No, I love it. I mean, a player-coach team is a really beautiful aspect.
Kennedy Cambridge scoring along the baseline against Betts with a fearless take against the Big Ten Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. And then out-muscles her for the rebounds.
I don't think Kennedy Cambridge saw.
Jelani Cambridge leaves it for Lamila. It's stripped and taken away.
Kevin McGuff is incensed right there. And that reverse layup that Kennedy Cambridge had on Betts, there's no way that she saw the basket. She's an innate ability to find where the hoop was. And I think Jelani Cambridge got a piece of Betts' shot on the subsequent possession.
That ball tipped and staying here with 9 to shoot.
Let's take a look at that last sequence of events. There's the entry pass, and there's Jelani Cambridge coming in. Oh, I don't know if she got a piece of it. It looked like she may have on the way up. But Kennedy Cambridge certainly swooped in and got that carom. Took it the other way for Ohio State.
Curly Sledger-Walker in the paint, ripped down by Neepkins for a second chance opportunity. Jump ball going back to Ohio State.
The Buckeyes trying to grind this one out. You see Kevin McGuff imploring his team to execute down here in the quarter court.
Jelani Cambridge carrying the basketball, 8 points for her today.
Great spacing right here. Motion offense by Ohio State. Trying to get some back cuts.
Pick and roll to perfection, Gray and Lamila.
Yeah, it's back cuts that force the defense to pay attention.
Getting downhill is Hawkes looking for some extra teammates. Lauren Betts working for the perimeter, wants it deep against Jelani Cambridge, and a foul is called.
Let's take a look right here. It's great spacing on the last possession by Ohio State. A pick and slip action from the elbow. What a great pocket pass. Get right to the money downhill. Lamila finishing nicely at the rim, and then Jelani Cambridge and Hawkes getting tangled up. Some verbiage afterwards. A little spicy too. I'll leave that to the viewers to decipher, but a little extra. It's March.
Here's Rice draining the triple for the Bruins.
Oh, straight cash for the DMV's own Kiki Rice from range. I mean, what great rotation she had on that triple try. You know, you think about her getting downhill, but that 3 was pure.
Kennedy Cambridge doesn't have the response that time, and the rebound corralled by Lauren Betts, her 6th today to go along with 12 points.
Both teams have knocked in 5 triples in this one. I thought it'd be a paint battle.
Rice is going to retreat before she's collapsed upon. It's a jump ball and staying here, but Ohio State dialing up the intensity with their backcourt defense.
Take a look at Kiki Rice. For UCLA on that previous possession, what a great read. You go under the screen. Chance Gray can't do that. You got to stay over top. And I know you want to meet her there because you think that Kiki Rice is going to get downhill with a straight line drive. But you have to get over it and be ready to push off. Get in front of her if she does try to get downhill, but you got to be there to contest the three.
Betts is going to take it herself. What a take that is from the 6'7" Lauren Betts.
Yeah, off the bounce, doesn't need one or two of them to get where she needs to go with those long legs.
Approaching the midway point of this fourth quarter, semifinal number 1 in the All-State Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament. Kitts trying to battle for that rebound, another jump ball, and possession arrow keeps it here.
Let's take a look at Lauren Betts on the move. 2 dribbles, 1-2 steps across the lane, and she just takes up so much space when she does that, and nothing you can do about it. Unless you crowd her with another body, but you got to get there and be aware of that drive.
Getting downhill, Chance Gray, she'll earn herself a trip to the free throw line, where today she's 5 for 5, and she has been critical, crucial in keeping Ohio State in this ball game, sitting on 18 points. The next highest score for Ohio State, Jelani Cambridge with 8.
Yeah, and Chance Gray is going to have to continue to be aggressive because they are switching 1 and 5 defensively. UCLA is bringing Lauren Betts in the space of Jelani Cambridge.
Later tonight, the 2026 Big Ten Wrestling Championships continue with the semifinals. And then tomorrow, don't miss the championship round, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. More streaming coverage on Big Ten Plus. More championships up for grabs around the Big Ten.
Oh.
Ava Watson with the steal. Extra pass, it is Gray, the hot hand, and she drills it.
Oh, what a smart play there by Jelani Cambridge to make the extra one more pass to the corner for that triple by Chance Gray, who has been a lightning strike for the Buckeyes.
She has willed her team to stay in this game with 23 points.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it. They're covering Jelani Cambridge up so well.
Hawkes left alone, tipped out. Jelani Cambridge adjusts her glasses, turns on the jets, and takes it to the rim where she's fouled. 62-54 is UCLA's narrower lead now.
Yeah, how about this? Look at this defense getting in the way of things as Watson, and then swings it over to the corner pocket. Jelani sends it to Chance Gray.
Makes it taste so good. So good. So good.
And I love Chance Gray. She has really come alive. 6 of 10 from the floor, knocked in 4 triples for the team. She's been the relief button and the relief valve because of the way they are covering Jelani Cambridge, and she can't get to her 26-point prowess that she's been able to display throughout conference play. But Chance Gray stepping up in a massive way for the Buckeyes here.
Elise, what was going on in that last OSU huddle?
Well, guys, Katie Smith, the outstanding former Ohio State player, former head coach of the New York Liberty. What a gift to have her on your coaching staff for Kevin McGuff. She drew up the play right here, and she's making sure she's saying to Kitts and to Limula, we want to get it to you, but you have got to be physical and sealed.
Yeah, well, they ran that elevator action almost to perfection. They're trying to get Chance Gray another opportunity from range. But that was tipped by Hawkes, who fought through the elevator action there.
Dugalich, the triple goes down for UCLA. What a swing that is for the Bruins.
Yeah, big momentum change right there. If you can imagine Gray knocking it in and that shot not going in for UCLA, what the situation may be. They've got to manufacture more offense. And you see now, Betts is guarding Chance Gray.
Jelani Cambridge calling her own number. That's off target. Jelani today, 4 of 11 shooting, 8 points.
Jelani Cambridge has to take advantage of any time Betts is not guarding her. And those switches 1 to 5, or not 1, 2, 5, 1 and 5 for the Bruins. You saw Betts guarding Chance Gray on that last possession. Trying to switch it up a little bit because of the hot hand that she has displayed. Rolling the ball in, trying to save that clock.
Cambridge being guarded by Rice, and then here's the switch. Lauren Betts on her, that's affected her throughout this game, and lands in the hands of Kennedy Cambridge, now sweeping across and dropping the dime to Lemula.
Yeah, Lemula had the cross match with a guard on her on that switch with Betts. And Jelani didn't find her, but the ball found Lemula.
2-on-1 for the Bruins, they take care of it. Ledger Walker to Hawkes.
You got to sprint back, so you have that rotational line on the backside defensively if you're Ohio State.
Jelani Cambridge putting her foot on the gas, earns herself a trip to the free throw line, and you can feel the intensity dialed up in the last couple of minutes here in the fourth.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Ohio State have that switch occur, right? With Jelani Cambridge, with Betts guarding her. But now you have Lemula being guarded by Kiki Rice or Ledger Walker there. Go ahead and feed that match, right? Right there at the rim, with Lemula maybe posting up after that initial switch with Betts to Cambridge.
Jelani Cambridge knocks down the first. She has come up clutch so many times this season to lead this team, including against the Michigan Wolverines, their rival. In the last couple of moments, knocking down 3 free throws in a game that went to overtime. Here, she goes 2 for 2.
Still time if you're Ohio State, but you really got to grind and grit it out on the defensive end, and that's when they're at their best, when they're locked in on the defensive end. Trying to blitz right there, but now it's a domino effect on the backside.
Very easy for UCLA getting it over. Only 8 seconds off the clock as well. We're under 3 to go here at Cambridge Fieldhouse.
There's the blitz yet again, but good job by Ledger Walker to escape it.
Open here for Hawkes. Not that time.
Oh my
Betts decides that belongs to me.
Oh my goodness. I've seen it all now. I mean, obviously, an advantage on the interior, but she just picked that over the head of Jelani Cambridge.
Cambridge is going to foul there.
Well, I was the youngest sibling, and this is pretty much what it looked like when I was hooping with my brother and his friends. They were just picking over the top of my head. I mean, what an advantage it is for Lauren Betts. And it's not just her size, but it's her ability, right? To get in there and get that cleanly without touching the body.
Rice acrobatic in the air, she's fouled. And free throws here for Kiki Rice. 15.7 rebounds today.
Yeah, this is what Kiki Rice does so exceptionally well. She serpentines her body, takes the hit, trying to attack the cup. I mean, she's able to keep that ball high, but she also has power with the basketball, not an easy feat. Somebody has some cotton candy behind us. What is that? The elementary kids? Even with the headset on, I was like, that hit me right between the eyes. Golly.
We love the enthusiasm.
Yeah, no, I love it. My kids are older now, but I was like, wow, it was just yesterday I heard that with 3 of mine doing that in the car.
Here's Jelani Cambridge.
Charlie Brown.
Tight roping along the baseline. Lemula with an athletic take. Kisses it off glass.
Got to get stops now if you're Ohio State defensively. Look, now they're trying to get him in the coffin corner. Almost got it away from Ledger Walker. Not so much.
Ohio State just will not go away in this game.
Got to fight. It's all about the competitive fortitude.
A foul going on Ava Watson for the Buckeyes, who have never led in this game, down by 9, under 2 to go.
You know, offensively, Lemula has 6 assists in this game. She's had some big games. She had 13 rebounds in one of the games here in the tournament. So she's done a lot of different things well across the board statistically for the team.
Rice takes a look at the clock, directing congestion for the UCLA Bruins. 5 to shoot. Lemula pokes it away. 1 second left for Betts to loft. It almost goes down.
Gotta go now if you're the Buckeyes. Gotta go.
And that's what they can do. Kennedy Cambridge stops on a dime, doesn't
Barely.
drag that pivot foot.
Ooh, that was close.
Jelani Cambridge puts her head down. Ledger Walker is called for a foul. And Corey Close, incredulous.
Their work cut out for them to handle this pressure without her.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of Kiki Rice, having the point guard skill set to come right in seamlessly and take care of that. You have to stay in the middle third right now. You know that Ohio State is going to be blitzing you. You have to stay off those sidelines and get out of those coffin corner situations where you can get hemmed in.
After those free throws, also calmly knocked down by Jelani Cambridge. Here is Hawkes, a burst of speed into the front court, and the Bruins have time on their side, leading by 7.
Look at Jelani Cambridge, this hot stove trying to get their hands on the basketball there. Away from Kiki Rice, and then trying to high hedge is Lindula.
7 seconds for the Bruins as Lauren Betts faces up, surveys, spins, fades, can't knock it down, and Jelani Cambridge will pick it up. Put your seatbelt on when she's in transit, but can't convert. Foul is going to go against Kennedy Cambridge.
Jelani Cambridge trying her best to get the basketball on the bottom of the net right here, turning on the Jets turbo mode for the youngster. Just a sophomore, just trying to get downhill. But Dugalich may have gotten a piece of that as well on the way up. I mean, just the size and length on the perimeter for UCLA, it's just tough to match that, even if you have the excellent speed that Jelani Cambridge possesses in the open floor.
An 81% free throw shooter this season for Dugalich. Both teams are in the bonus. Ohio State with 1 timeout, UCLA with 3, with 48.2 seconds left. Timeout is called. 71-62 is UCLA's lead, trying to secure a spot in the Big Ten title game in back-to-back seasons. You know, these teams are fired. Total 31.
It's insane, right? To think about those 16 quad one wins. It's just phenomenal. Their only loss was to Texas back in November, around the Thanksgiving week, and that was their only loss of the year.
And Coach Corey Close said he was happy that we actually lost that early compared to last year, because it taught us those lessons early on that have carried us here to the Big Ten conference season.
Yeah, and that game was played out in Las Vegas. I was covering that game in studio, and it was just really intriguing to see what went wrong for UCLA. And they got in foul trouble. Booker was going off in that game, but they just didn't shoot the basketball well, but then they were out of rhythm with looking like here for UCLA.
Change the shot clock to 26. Hawkes trying to protect it. It's going to be a jump ball. And keeping it right here.
Smart by Kennedy Cambridge right in there to tie it up. If they can tie it up again, they get it back. But that clock is not their friend right here in this situation.
Dugalich, the inbounder, has that tipped. Betts jumps on it. It's another jump ball.
Oh.
And going to Ohio State.
That's smart to go for the possessions, right? And not foul. You have to put them on the line, right? Just play solid defense and go in there and get the basketball with 2 hands. Sister right there in the Cambridges.
Give and go between the Cambridges. Here is Jelani slicing. Didn't quite have the angle as Dugalich is fouled, pulled to the ground. 24 seconds on the clock.
Jelani Cambridge missed a couple of buckets in the same way, trying to get to her left hand finish. Just not enough of a flick of the wrist. The whippersnapper right there, trying to take it all the way to the cup and trying to get it away from those long limbs of Dugalich.
Dugalich back at the free throw line for the Bruins, who have never trailed in this game.
Just a tough afternoon for Jelani Cambridge. I mean, a lot of different defensive schemes, putting bets on her in those gaps to close. There's my guy. Oh my God. And not only to close the gaps for the ability to shoot it, but also the vision to make plays with passes. There's Charlie Brown back there. You know how Charlie Brown has his mouth wide open yelling? That's him, man. Golly.
Cambridge trying to get free. She's going to loft it. 12 seconds left, and UCLA can dribble things out here. Continuing to win in the Big Ten tournament. They carry Big Ten perfection into the title game.